Welcome back to INnerSANITY. I'm Jennifer, and today I'm going to be talking about bullying. It's Anti-Bullying Week, and I decided to do a video about my personal experience with bullying. And I also will be doing a book video in regards to Anti-Bullying Readathon Week. It's a GoodReads group, and I'll leave the link for that below. But for this video, I'm just going to be talking about my personal experience with bullying. And I wasn't sure I was going to do the video because I felt nervous about it, and I wasn't sure I really wanted to talk about it, because I've talked about it with my family or my friends, and but I haven't really talked about it to the world. But I decided I would do it because I think it's an important issue, and I think it's a horrible thing that bullying is. And my experience, I think, pretty much has scarred me for my life. And it happened when I was in high school. And grade 9, my high school was grades 9 through 12. And grade 9 was my favorite year of all. I had a great group of friends, and my best friend and I would always write notes back and forth to each other. And we would talk about all the boys we liked, and we'd have nicknames for them. So she had her pencil case, and it was full of all these notes that we'd written back and forth. And one day, one of the boys that we liked found the note and took it out of her pencil case, I guess. And he read it, and every day in one of our classes, him and the group of friends, would read it. And they would try to find out who we were talking about. And it was kind of exciting for us, because it was like, oh my god, are they going to find out who we like? And because the boys that were reading the notes were the boys that we liked. And then they eventually found out who we were talking about. But it was fun for me because it was interaction with the boys we liked, and we were getting the attention. And I just thought it was fantastic, and I just had the best year in grade 9. But right at the end, on the very last day of school of grade 9, one of the boys, as we were leaving to go to the room, called out Beak to me. And I can't remember the context into which it was said. All I know is he referred to me as Beak. And I kind of didn't really know what they were talking about, but I had a feeling that maybe they were talking about my nose. And I was sort of like, well, that's weird, like, that's sudden, and why would they say that? And I was mulling about it like the whole summer, thinking, oh my god, why did they say that? Why did they say that? So, the first day of school in grade 10, I walk in, and I'm not sure where it happens, but it was the first day of school, and somebody called out Beak when I walked in the room. And that pretty much continued, and it wasn't just one person calling me that. It was, one or two at first, and then, a handful of guys started calling me Beak. When I walked around the halls, as if they passed me through the halls, that's pretty much how it continued. When I'd walk in the room to one of my classrooms, the whole group of guys would scream out, "Beaker! Beak! Beaker!" And that was all they would say, and they'd laugh, and I'd be really embarrassed, and I wouldn't say anything back to them. I'd just ignore them. But I mean, it was to the point, like, it happened every day. I'd walk down the halls, when they passed me, screams and laughter and shouts out Beak and Beaker, and under their breath, muffled voices. And I became extremely self-conscious about my nose, and I would try to push my glasses down so it would cover the bump in my nose, because I was mortified about my profile, about anyone seeing me from the side. And if I ever had to take my glasses off, it was just you know, oh my God, more attention is drawn to me. And I just felt extremely hurt, and I felt extremely self-conscious. I would cry so many times at home. I'd cry with my mom, and I'd ask her, why are they doing this to me? And she would say things to try to make me feel better. Nobody ever really talked about getting a nose job or anything, but you know, she'd say things to try to cheer me up, like, well, would you rather have a big birthmark on the side of your face? And I'd say, no. And I'm not trying to poke fun of anyone that has, you know, a birthmark on their face or anything like that. I just, you know, she was trying to make me feel better. And I mean, I did feel better, you know, after she'd console me and everything like that, and I'd have good cries. My friends were very supportive, and they would stand up for me. I remember one time, I think, because this went on through grades 10, 11, and 12. So I hated high school after that. I just was, you know, every time they were near, I was shut down, and I wouldn't look them in the eyes, and I was just mortified. And I remember there was a couple of boys that didn't make fun of me, that were sort of nice to me. And I always remember those boys because I thought, well, that was very nice of them. And I look back fondly on that. And I still remember the boys that made fun of me, and I still have dreams about being back in high school because it impacted my life so much. And I know that there are so many more people out there that get bullied way worse, you know, physical bullying or way worse mental abuse, that kind of stuff. You know, but every story is different, and everybody gets hurt, no matter what level, you know, of bullying they're getting. For me, this was my story, and I really was scarred by it, and because, I mean, I still have dreams about it. I still have dreams about being back in high school, and, you know, those boys are in those dreams, and I don't know if it's an issue I can't let go of. I mean, I don't particularly feel self-conscious about my nose anymore, but I am very aware of it at times. Sometimes I am, you know, a little self-conscious about it if I see myself in pictures or that kind of thing. I used to, you know, there's a period where I wore contacts, and it was, you know, obviously more noticeable at that point. And I mean, I think that time in my life where I wasn't wearing glasses was actually a really good time in my life, you know, in my early 20s. But, you know, and nobody since high school has ever made fun of my nose. And every time I tell a story, they're like, well, why? Why would they do that? And I don't really understand why they did it. I mean, I get it. I get, you know, there's a bump on my nose. And I don't know. It's not necessarily that I have a large nose, but there is a defined shape to it. And I don't really know why they singled me out and started calling me this name. And one day, a boy at school, one of the boys made me cry. I had gone to the bathroom during class, and when I came back to class, one of the boys that wasn't in my class, he was standing outside the door talking to one of his friends through the window in the door. And he had a tennis racket in his hand, or a badminton racket, something. He shakes the badminton racket at me, and he says, "You've got a big nose and a big mouth." And like, he said it mean, like, and it was really like personal, you know, and vindictive, because it was just me and him in the hall, and there's nobody else around, and it was like right up in my face. And I just said, "Thanks," and then I walked in the classroom. And I went back to my seat, and there was probably only about 15 minutes left in class. But I had started tearing up in the classroom. Because it really, really, really hurt my feelings that time. And I was standing in line because it was lunchtime after that. And I went to the cafeteria with my friends because we were going to get fries before we had our cheerleading practice, which I still can't believe I was a cheerleader. So we're standing in line, and they could tell that I was really upset. And they said, well, they asked me what was wrong, and I told them what happened. And I was crying, and I couldn't keep it in, and I couldn't keep it in, and I was just, tears were starting to stream, and they were in the lineup, you know, the people the boy that said it. So one of my friends said, okay, well, they'll get your fries, and let's just go to the bathroom. So, you know, I went to the bathroom, and I cried, and I'll always remember that, you know, that'll always be in my memory of just all of them, you know, being like that and treating me like that. I mean, I don't understand why they did it, because, I mean, the only reason I can think of why they started to call me that in the first place is because we were referring to them by nicknames in the note. But it's not like they were derogatory nicknames. They were just, like one of them was B, one of them was teeth, and the other one was eyes, and there was something else, A, I think. So, like, those were just generic nicknames, and it had nothing to do with their appearance. Well, one of them did, but that was just because we liked his teeth, which wasn't a bad thing. So, I didn't really understand why they isolated me, why they picked on me and not any one of my friends, because I wasn't the only one that was doing it, like, you know. So, I mean, years later, what I was talking about with my friend, I mean, I was talking about, you know, how it really upset me and how it scarred me, and she's like, well, I didn't know it really bothered you that much, and I always thought they did it because they liked you. And then I was like, well, what? So that doesn't make any sense at all. And I still don't think that could be true at all, because why? I mean, teasing I can understand if you like someone, you know, but not to that extent where you are bullying them and calling them names and getting all of your friends to do it, you know, with you down the halls when she walks by and when she walks in a room. And I mean, obviously I was upset about it. I don't know why, like, they had to have known. I mean, they must have seen me crying about it. I mean, it was a blubbering mess. And if they didn't know, then I guess they're, I don't know, clueless. Maybe it's because they were boys in high school. They just didn't care or didn't know. But my fiance is also one that had bullying when he was in elementary school, but his was physical, and he got beaten up and kicked and punched and chased, and you know, like when he was down on his back, they'd stomp on his back. And I mean, I don't even know how he survived that mentally, let alone physically. He doesn't get emotional when he talks about it, but I can't imagine it not affecting him emotionally. It's not that I want him to cry about it or anything, but I mean, and I was getting emotional whilst I was talking about it. And I don't normally get emotional talking about it, but I guess when I'm actually talking about it to you, the world, and if I'm being serious about it, yeah, I am still hurting from it deep down. I still have dreams about being back in high school. And I mean, I think that must mean something, you know, psychologically. I've often wondered about my dreams because they're extremely disturbing. You know, not just being back in high school or anything like that, but I don't even think I could tell you the dreams I have. You know, it's pretty disgusting and horrific. They're literally horrifying nightmares, like, of a grisly matter. So, I don't know. But that's off topic. But, so that was my story, about bullying. And, I mean, I think that, I hope that people, you know, found it interesting, and if there's anyone, you know, that has a story, I think they should talk about it. Let alone, you don't have to put a video up, but just you could go online and post a comment on a message board somewhere, or a forum, or anything. If you feel like you need to get it off your chest. I think everybody should get stuff off their chest or talk about their feelings, and I think everyone needs a good cry every once in a while. Yeah, it feels so good to get that out. And anybody that is experiencing bullying, if they feel they don't have any if they feel they don't have anyone to talk to, I mean, there's always people to talk to, family or friends. Even if you can't talk to them, your guidance counselors at school, or the helplines, or you could go find any of these videos about bullying, leave links or leave comments, and I'm sure people will talk to you. I mean, every bit helps. There's lots of ways now with the internet to find that help, and I don't think anyone should have to suffer through that alone, experiencing that. I was lucky that I had my mother to support me and make me feel better. And I was lucky that I had my friends to stick up for me. And I'm really lucky that I found someone that loves me. For me. So, I didn't think I was going to cry. I thank you for watching, and I hope that you have a good life and find support where you need it. So I'm going to leave the links to the GoodReads read-along group for anti-bullying, and I'm going to do a video about the books I'm reading this week for that as well, so hopefully I'll have that up soon after this one. And thank you so much for watching and for putting through with my bumbling, because I was really nervous to do the video. Okay, so thanks a lot, and we'll see you in the next video.